Welcome back. It is harvest time and we have an ingredient that we are looking to have in abundance in this country. Is the humble apple. And Tara Walker from East Coast Cookery School joins us now with a dessert that'll fancy up your fruit intake. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Tarte Tatin.
A nice little apple tart tatin. So simple and easy, especially when you use shop-bought puff pastry or short crust pastry, because I don't think it needs a homemade pastry, if you know what I mean.
No.
So I'm going to start by making a little caramel very quickly, okay? So I have my butter, 50 grams of butter going into my pan, and I'm melting it down. Now this is a little bit hotter than you would do at home, just where we don't have loads of time today. So into that butter, I'm going to add 100 grams of sugar. Now, I'll give it a little stir here before it's melted, but after that, try not to stir it because the caramel can kind of get a little bit, like little crystallised bits in it if you stir it. So I always say to people, like, get rid of the spoon so you don't just pick it up, you know, on autopilot or whatever.
The temptation is stir, stir, stir.
Exactly, leave it alone and we'll give it a shake now in a minute.
Okay.
Now, a traditional Tarte Tatin is made in the pan with the caramel, so we would put the apples on here and then cover in the pastry.
Right.
But based on me years ago doing hands-on classes, seeing people in my kitchen handling red hot pans and caramel and all the rest, I came up with an easier way to do it, okay? So if you take a tin with a removable base and just put some tin foil around it like this so that any caramel that might be in the bottom doesn't spill out all over your oven because it makes an awful mess. And we're going to just layer up the apples this way. And just do it in a nice little kind of tidy shape around. And just keep going around, and then you can give your caramel a little stir, little shake every now and then. So as I say, you can stir it before the sugar's melted, but not when it's melted.
Gotcha, okay.
So, and just keep layering around. This is a classic little French recipe. You can do it savoury as well. So it's lovely with like caramelised onion and tomato and thyme.
It's a real showstopper as well, Tara, isn't it? Because you present it then it's like an upside down.
Exactly.
It looks very fancy.
It does. I mean, it looks fancy in one way, but it's kind of flat looking as well, you know what I mean? So, but I think when you plate it up nicely, it's gorgeous then, you know. And just keep going around. Plums are lovely as well.
Yeah. I can't tell you the amount of pans I've ruined trying to make Tarte Tatins because it's that caramel thing.
It is, and that's why this way is actually handy because you would keep your pan in good kind of condition then, do you know what I mean? Because you're pouring it off. So I'm actually just going to turn the heat up here a little bit. Okay. And just get that kind of...
So you can use the fruit of your choice.
Exactly, yes. Or vegetables as well. Roasted vegetables are lovely in there. And just keep, it's really nice. I actually love it as a savoury tart as well. Yeah, it's really nice. Maybe for like a little autumnal lunch or something like that.
So you do peppers or whatever you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great idea.
Or when we've got pumpkin on the go now, you could roast up some pumpkin and red onion, maybe a little bit of goat's cheese, thyme. Just thinking about, you know, there's loads of different...
Are you plagued the time of the year for pumpkin recipes now?
Kind of, yeah. Like in another week or two now, it will take off. But I actually love it. But I don't eat it a huge amount the rest of the year. You know, I'm kind of done with it then. So I'm using Cox's apples, by the way, which are eating apples. And I prefer using eating apples for this because I prefer them to keep their shape. Whereas a cooking apple just kind of goes into like a...
It turns to mush.
Exactly, which is what you want in an actual, you know, like an apple pie or apple crumble or whatever. And so look at this now, you can see there's darker pieces of caramel there. And then we just give it a good shake around. And it's almost ready. And
very good. We've got 3 minutes left.
Perfect. Lovely.
So that's your shop-bought pastry.
Exactly, puff pastry. Some people use short crust pastry, but I prefer puff. And then, look, we're almost done there.
Look how easy that is. Tara, you made that look very easy.
It is, and it is easy. No, it is. It's one of those, I think, like if you were just suddenly having people over for Sunday dinner or something, it's actually a great one to just pull together, kind of, you know.
And it's not a job for the kids, though, because it's very hot, that caramel, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is very, very hot. And then pop the pastry on. So the sugar, the juices from the apple will mix with that caramel now.
Great, and spread it out almost, create a sauce.
Exactly. And there we go. Look how simple that was. Into the oven now.
I mean, and how long do you cook it for, Tara?
So about 25 to 30 minutes. And just make sure the apples cook very quickly, so it's really just the pastry to puff up.
Okay. And what temperature do you cook that at?
I like to do about 200 to 220, a good high temperature, you know. And then, so when you have that done, you can So I've gone with the traditional way
Which is in the
of
pan.
making it in the pan, OK? And you can see it's just a little bit tricky. I decided to give myself a challenge live on air
Well,
this
sure,
morning.
why not? If you're going to do it live on television, huh?
So you can loosen up the edges, actually, before you pop it out onto your serving board.
This is the showstopper bit, isn't it?
This is, well, hopefully now, if it doesn't break on me.
Oh, Tarte, you set the bar high now this morning.
And let's just flick it over then. I'm using my right hand, so it's heavy and it's hot. So just
straight
there
out
we go.
Look at that.
Hopefully.
Look
yes.
at that. Oh my God, that looks so good to eat.
Here we go.
Look at that.
And then you can just serve up. I love custard with it. I didn't have time to make custard this morning, but I've made it before on the show, so you can look up the recipe on the Ireland AM website, or you can get it on my own website.
The colour of that, I mean, they say we eat with our eyes. That looks absolutely delicious.
Isn't it lovely? And you see, just the apples have held their shape, whereas if you were using cooking apples, they wouldn't hold their shape like that.
My colleague, Elaine, has joined us.
I snuck in.
How are you?
I just decided to visit, just to see how you are.
Lovely to see you. Would you like a little bit of Tarte Tatin?
Should I have a little bit?
Now, you normally serve it, you said, with custard.
I love it with custard, yes. But I have some whipped cream here, very lightly whipped cream.
Yeah.
It's nicer to lightly whip it. And then a little bit of ice cream is nice either. You just want something cold kind of against that, the heat of the caramel and the sweetness of the caramel.
That is fabulous. I'm very peculiar. My mother-in-law makes the best apple tart in the country. And,
Don't tell people what you do with it.
I scrape the apples out.
Like, what's the point of that? What is the point of eating
I remember
apple
the
tart
first
without
time she went,
apples?
there's something wrong with you.
You're lucky your wife didn't divorce you after that.
I know. I'm very lucky. I have a very loving mother-in-law. Who was a great cook. That's a great recipe. And simple.
And so easy. And as you can see, the other way I did it, where the removable base, you won't have all that faffing around with the hot pan. Just lift the base out and then turn it upside down. So you can let it cool a little bit.
My mistake with the caramel is I wait for it to go really, really dark. You went
early because don't forget it's cooking out more in the oven with the apples.
Yeah. See, every day is a school day. You all right there?
I'm just
enjoying
it. It's quite nice. I do like it. Great breakfast. Thank you very much.
Great recipe. The recipe details are, of course, up on our website, or check out eastcoastcookeryschool.ie for more of Tara's recipes and class schedules.
Now, up next, we hear about the world's first ambulance service specifically designed for children. Don't go anywhere.